We are Flake, Rose, and Spirits, and we are supremely black, dropping content that matters. How y'all doing this week, fellas?
That's your big kid folk, J.Flake, man. Everything doing good. Getting ready for this holiday. Wife in there cooking, got the house smelling good. Got them greens on the pot. Got that dressing going. Chicken in there baking. So getting ready for this day of thanks holiday. So we have a good time. Gonna be reduced holiday, and not gonna see as much family, due to them Ronies that's running rapid in the city. But other than that, doing pretty good. I just like to put a shout out to my oldest daughter that out here on her grind, her first year of college. She working 2 jobs, going to college and doing hair on the side, as far as like making wigs and stuff like that. So, and, doing the kitchen thing. One day we get that license, we're gonna go and put it out there. She already working on her craft, so she should be good to go. But other than that, doing good. D.Rose?
Yeah, shout out to Lil Cuz for the grind though. Like I was saying, me and Flake talked about it when I was in Nashville. Is that I feel like this younger generation is gonna hear what we've either complained about or motivated them to do, and jump out to that entrepreneur world a lot quicker than to kind of be at a dead end job or just trying to chase degrees and things like that. They're just gonna go for what their purpose or their passion is. So shout out to Cuz Kai on that. But this week has been a pretty solid week. Rising Power to Big Ham. We had his home going Saturday, so still prayers to the Watkins family and his extended family as well. We love you all, and keep pushing. But outside of that, it's been solid. Had a good therapy session Monday. I got a new counselor that is more relatable towards prior to the one that I had. We didn't have much in common. So, of course, if anybody's been through therapy, if you don't have anything in common, it's pretty much like looking at a wall, expecting it to talk back to you, so you don't get much out of it. So that's dope. But outside of that, life is good. We're just going to keep pressing. I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit of family tomorrow and kick it. I'm pretty sure some spades going to get brought out, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot of bottles being opened, so I'm here for it. But Spirits, welcome back, brother. How's everything been for you?
Appreciate it for holding it down, fellas, while I was out. Everything's been good, just been recovering from this COVID, a little COVID and a little cocoa. So they was on my ass a little bit, so I'm recovering now. I'm back asymptomatic. I was down and out for a little bit, but I appreciate y'all holding it down. My week just been in these 4 walls, just trying to maintain and trying to keep my mental straight. So other than that, I've been good though.
Hey, I got a question for those who heard of COVID and might have a little bit of disbelief in COVID, and they don't know anybody that had COVID. What's some of the stuff you went through dealing with the virus?
The worst thing for me was I had a fever real bad, and the chills. The fever real bad and the chills, and then I had a headache for like a week. But I deal with migraines, so I don't know if that was from COVID or if that was just from my migraines. But I deal with migraines. But I had the chills, and I had a bad fever, like where I felt like Jean Grey when she was turning to the Phoenix from X-Men for like 2 days. And then other than that, I was just like regular cold symptoms. I was starting to drain, like, sneezing and having to blow my nose for like a day or two. And then other than that, I've been back asymptomatic, but I still have it because I've been tested twice so far because I'm trying to get back to the regular scheduled program. But, I still got it right now and I'm asymptomatic again, but I'm just still going through my 14-day period. So I got about 6 days left. So hopefully when them 6 days hit, I'll be done and I'll be good to go. So that's what it's been like for me personally.
Cool.
So they're going to have to slide them Thanksgiving plates up under the door or something?
Hell yeah, I'm going to get knock on the door. It's right there. Hell yeah.
Right. Yeah, slide them Johnson up under there. Yeah. You gonna eat your cornbread? That's what's up. I'm glad you feeling better though, bro.
Appreciate it. Well, this week, our episode is for the culture. If everybody tuned in to Verzuz between Jeezy and Gucci, Gucci and Jeezy, however you want to say it. I ain't trying to knock nobody or whatever, but this episode is directly for the culture because what they brought us and what they brought to the table, not just from a culture standpoint, but also from a growth standpoint, and just to show you how man should handle business regardless of their personal differences or the real issues that they got between each other, you know, to come to each other as grown man and to settle something and, you know, deal with it that way. So we're just going to talk about what y'all thought about the whole versus battle, who y'all think won, how nostalgic it was to bring you back to that time period when you was growing up and remembering some of the things you was doing and everything. So we're just going to pop it off like that. So whoever want to jump in and dive in first, go ahead.
I think this was legendary. This is what everybody been wanting since Versus started. They've been looking forward to the Gucci Man versus Jeezy. Everybody wanted to see how Gucci was gonna be dressed. Of course, he came out dressed down to the nines, casket sharp. Jeezy came out in the old trapper die, like he was what he was wearing back in 03, 04. Man, so you know they did it at the strip club Magic City, so it couldn't get no better. It was all the way Atlanta out. It was all the way Atlanta out. I think Gucci is. Some people think Gucci won. Some people think Jeezy won. A lot of people saying Gucci won because he came straight out the bat with this song after this song after this song. Like, I don't care nothing about the hits. This is my time to shine. I'm getting my diss songs out in your face, looking you eye to eye with these diss songs. And I feel like, be honest with you, I feel like it was therapy for Gucci. I feel like Gucci, he been holding that in. He wanted to get that off his chest to him face to face. I felt like there was therapy for Gucci. But Jeezy came with some bangers, and everybody knew he was gonna come with them bangers. And he came with some bangers. But I get into a little later who I think won. But right now, I just say, you know, round one, Gucci came off with that with actual song round one. Gucci versus Jeezy. And he bumped that joint. I ain't gonna lie to you. He bumped it. It was crazy. Then Jeezy came out with an intro song. Now you know you got a hitting ass song if the intro song is put in the verse. You know that's a classic ass album. When you got the intro, that you start with the intro. But it was interesting. I liked it. I hope a lot of people out there, I hope a lot of these rappers, as we discussed in last week's episode, will look at this and be like, you know what? Our beef ain't that serious. If these two men can sit in the same room and do a verses and look at each other eye to eye across and extend Jesus standing the olive branch to Gucci, and he accepted it to kind of drop their beef and squash their beef. I hope it's a lot of rappers out there that's beefing like, hey, what we got going on ain't that crucial. So let's kill all that. You know what I'm saying? So we won't have another rapper being shot like we had here in the last couple of months. It's been kind of crazy. That's my initial thoughts for right now.
It was dope, and I loved it. Me and Flake was actually at Chicken Coop. The DJ from Nashville, well, he from Memphis, but he lived in Nashville. DJ Coop got, so that's actually some good wings. So quick shout out to him. But it was a pretty dope scene because I just remember being younger and the back and forth between them two. We remember So Icy when they was together. I remember Flake bought me my first pair of red monkey jeans, so it was just like I wish I would have had them. Threw them bad boys on with some ones. You feel me? Just big boy shirt, wouldn't care about nothing. But it was, I honestly never thought it would happen. So definitely salute to Jeezy and Gucci for doing it for the culture because we took way too many L's over, I'm not gonna say senseless beef because in this actual particular case, there was a body in the situation where somebody came up dead that represented either side. So with it being bloodshed and for them still to be able to stand across the stage from each other, look each other in the eye as men, whether they didn't agree or not, I think we should be able to do that more because a lot of y'all is just going at it on Instagram and adding each other, and it don't really be that deep. These people have lost people in between this war, and was still able to put on for the culture and still went to a club afterwards that proceeded with no violence as well. So you can't tell me that you can't be overly gangster, which we seen how Gucci came out, and still stop the violence. So salute to them for even doing it, but salute to them even more for being man enough to do it in front of the world, not in private. What's your thoughts, Spirit?
The crazy thing about it is I joked when watching the verses and I typed on there, they got the IFO as security. Come to find out, they really had them boys as security. So uh just to see that, but to see the animosity that it popped off with, that it started with and everything, and you know how you could feel the tension in watching it and everything, but to also see, you know, to go back and go down memory lane and to remember them jams and them hits, and then also just to see how they ended it. That is black excellence right there. That nothing gets better than that. And you know, a lot of times we allow society to talk down about black on black crime, and you know that's the thing, but they don't say white on white crime or Asian on Asian crime, but we allow them to say black on black crime. And then a lot of times we do fall into the pit ourselves of the violence amongst each other. But to see that representation in front of the world panned out, and like you said, to actually have bodies or a body that was lost and slain throughout that beef and that plex, and then to see them come together and handle it like, man, that was just a beautiful thing. And you can't not say that there's stuff or there's beef that you got to take to your grave. And again, I know it's harder for some because some things happen and some people are built different. And then again, they're in an industry where they can make money together and they can kind of get over things differently than just a regular human being could or would. However, to strive towards that, to me, is excellence and what we should do as a culture and continue to do as a culture and the people in the community. But that's the part that I want to talk on first. But then when we dive into the music, you know, I'll share my thoughts on that. But just from what they represented and how they held us down, and how you could see and feel the tension, but then also see how it ended, and then to hear the stories, how they even clubbed after and how they talked, and then how Jeezy had his interview with Breakfast Club, and you know some real stuff. You could tell. Flake mentioned it was therapeutic. It was therapeutic for both, and it actually, you know, you could see the actual healing process.
And can we all admit that Atlanta is a COVID-free zone? Because they going on down there like it ain't nothing going on. Like, man, I saw pictures and stuff from the compound, man. It was super thick in there. I said, man, ain't no corona nowhere in sight in Atlanta. It's like corona just get to Atlanta and stop at the border. Like, nah, we just ain't. These niggas down here wild, man. We just corona even scared of zone 6, man. Man, but man, it was like I ain't got too much. Well, I got a lot to say, but I'm kind of lost for words to how great it was, because it's something we thought would never happen. We thought this right here would never happen. I remember when when Jeezy had the can't ban the snowman T-shirts and them being on the news, and it made it 2020 and everything else where they was banning the shirts from school where you couldn't wear them. And what's so crazy is when they talk about it, you realize how deep that beef goes, because they was telling stories like, if your daddy worked security for Jeezy and he had a friend that his daddy did some work with Gucci, like them two people be beefing. Like you just couldn't, like it was uneasy if you did anything with either one of these artists when it came to the other artists. Even down to the DJs, when you listen to the verses, the DJs was even throwing shots. So at some point in time, they was even standing on different sides with each other. DJ Drama, who was a legend in the game, especially during the mixtape era, even he was a little relieved that this happened, because it's like, now I ain't gotta feel uneasy because I'm cool with Jeezy and Gucci. He was like, so I didn't know how to feel. I just kind of avoided it and didn't really want to work with either one, so I wouldn't be thrown in the mix in the picking the side. So it's crazy how that one beef had pretty much a whole city divided almost. It was like it was almost like the East Coast, West Coast beef, but just in Atlanta. It was like either you with Jeezy or you with Gucci. Ain't no you cool with both. You better pick a side. And like you was talking about Spears, I just hope that, other rappers and other people can come together and quit all that, because you would think it's just between two people, and really in the background of it, it's a whole lot of other people involved in the beef that they ain't really involved in, which is kind of crazy. Like, you're not personally involved in it, but you involved in it because you might be cool with this person, or you might work with this person, and you see a person from the other side, and it's uneasy because that person worked with this group of people, and you work with this group of people, and you really just all about a paycheck, and you wasn't the one that got on wax and said, I give you 10K for his chain, and you wasn't the one that shot the other person, and it's kind of crazy. It's kind of senseless, especially where they beef started was over the song So Icy, which they did a sing-along to and was smiling at each other while they was performing it. And that whole beef pretty much started with, Jeezy wanted to put that on his album. Gucci saying, "No, this is my song. That ain't about to happen," and it just sparked from there. So I don't know. I'm still happy. We gonna get to these songs in a minute though.
Yeah, I think that's gonna bring out the real conversation. But yeah, just to kind of share of how divided it had it, and just how the entire world was put on notice. I remember calling Flake, and he was like, "What you want for Christmas?" And I was like, "Bro, just give me." Because the summer is when it hit when Can't Ban the Snowman came. I was like, bro, just give me the Can't Ban the Snowman shirt. But you know how family talk. He was like, I'm getting D, X, Y, and Z. I think it was like, I think it might have been at the time. It might have been like the first Xbox or Nintendo, somewhere around that. And long story short, but he was getting me that, and I just wanted the Can't Ban the Snowman shirt. So my grandparents, my grandmother found out, my auntie found out what shirt he was getting me. That shit was worse than like having, I don't know, like some racial shit. Like, Justin, you not getting him this shirt. So I'm like, why? Like, but and you are going to be marked in society as like, you are part of just the most mafia shit that ever came to black people if you had on that shirt. Like, you couldn't wear them to school. They banned them from school. It was like, they banned them in Nashville. So Flake was like, well, they ain't banned down there, so we get them. And then they banned them across, like, nationwide. If you have on these shirts, you get sent home. You can be suspended. And it was crazy because it's like, these are just two rappers, like you said, just in Atlanta that had created such a big wave. And then to see 15 years later, they bring it together. And it's just like, no issues. And I had seen one of I think it was like Ha Davis had joked and said, the National Guard got to be outside. Like, for real. Like, because it was just that crazy. But like, just to kind of reiterate, it was definitely dope. But I don't see how people think that Gucci won, but we'll get into that. I'm pretty sure that's going to be your next question, Spears, but I don't see how they think Gucci won it out.
So since you popped it off, who do y'all think won? Yeah, I'll let you go first, Rose, and then Flake.
Yeah. For me, I think I was telling, it was like, what was it, 25 songs they did or 20 songs? Ended up being 25.
20.
It was 20?
Mm-hmm.
No, they did 25.
It was 25, I think, because the last one was kind of like they started cutting them shorter.
Oh.
Whether it was 20, yeah, I think it was either I think the list showed 20, but I feel like they did extra. I think there was more than that.
Yeah.
I just think that Gucci came out swinging for the fences, and he was hitting some home runs. But that middle part, when he got to playing some things that just could not add up to what Jeezy was doing, and I'm a little biased because, of course, I was definitely Jeezy. But I did rock with Gucci pretty tough because he was clicked up with Gotti at one point. They was dropping songs together. But if it was at a 20, respectfully, I give him 13, 6 and 1, 13 Gucci, 13 Jeezy, 6 Gucci, and the 1 ties with So Icy. If it was 25, I've got that same matchup, and the only ties are So Icy, but it just wasn't a good look for Gucci. I mean, I think he had some good latest music that was more, popular, but nah, bro. He could have really played one-on-one and put Gucci to sleep, and that'd have been over with. Like Gucci bumping now, don't get me wrong, but if you ask me, you still can't ban the Snowman 15 years later, man. Nothing you can do with him.
Can't ban the Snowman. I got 14-5-1. I'm going with it. 14-5-1. I mean, I give Gucci the diss tracks only because he had the balls to come out and do them diss tracks right there with with Jeezy sitting right there, the whole group behind him, this, that, the other, all his entourage in there. I give Gucci that. After that though, Jeezy was mad. Hey man, Jeezy was busting his head, dog. Man, he played. I mean, I know he played the truth, and everybody like, man, damn. And then the intro, then after all the extra after truth was like, man, you see some more dead bodies. This is where everybody thought, oh, it's about to go down. Like it is really about to go down. When he did the truth, and he said, we smoking a Pookie Low pack, and then he said, you said some more, you said 3 more, I'm gonna send 3 more back in the casket, fresh, waiting on you. And Jeezy paused, he said, hold on, let me speak, homie. And Jesus said what he had to say was for all the rappers that passed away. And then he turned around and said, I'm the realest nigga in it. You already know. That trap of the year 4 times in a row. What they give you? I said, they gotta be the best comeback. And that's the best comeback for it. Like you can talk all that you want to. Everybody know I'm the realest nigga in it. And he was looking at Gucci. That was the only time I seen him like really face Gucci while doing a song where it had some feelings, some malice behind it. Like, Nick, you know what time it is. You talk all that you want to. You know what time it is. And then I was looking at the list. I just thought about these some of the songs that Gucci left out. He left out I Love It. He left out Then What? Boom, boom, back. Boom, boom, bang. And then it would have been nice if you played My Presence Black since Obama book just came out with last week. I think it was last week when his book came out. So it'd been nice for him to bump that. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all, dog. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat, Jeezy, man. To be honest with you, when it comes to them classics that he was playing, dog. Like I said earlier, he didn't play none of them songs he got on that Boston George Diego album, which was a slept-on album. If you ask me, that album hit from beginning to end. He probably could have played a couple songs out of the Recession too, but it's like those are new, so nobody really would have known it. But man, yeah. I mean, I can see how people say Gucci won because Gucci did the whole beef thing. Now I will say that when it come down to the whole beef thing, if you're looking at it from that way, Gucci won. If you're looking at the way of I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna do a actual like battle where I'm gonna give all my diss tracks. If you're looking at it like that, Gucci won. If you look at it like we're gonna go for hit and what song is actually better than the other, all the way Jeezy. No question.
Now I would if I was to give a score, and I'm just gonna go the 20 songs, just say 20 songs because it's easy to do the math. I'm gonna say 15, 4, and 1. And I'm gonna have to go for Jeezy. And so again, I'm gonna disagree with you though a little bit, Flake. As far as like the beef songs, a lot of people don't realize a lot of them bangers that Jeezy got are subliminals at Gucci.
Oh yeah.
So when you think about how classic they are, and then when you think about the metaphors that he hit you with and the punchlines he hit you with without saying a name or without being direct, Jeezy kind of got with him with the if you want to talk about beef and you want to just talk about getting at it, like Jeezy played some shit that was like, Gucci, you know what this is, like, you know this song about you. and a lot of people might not realize about it because they just stuck on the trap part of Jeezy and everything, and the work part and all of that stuff. And he was motivating the thugs. That's what TM, and so a lot of people might be stuck on that part. But if you actually know Jeezy and the music and everything, and the issues that they had, Jeezy wasn't in the versus battle. He didn't just play his bangers. He played bangers that was directed at Gucci. So I can't just give it to Gucci with the beef part, but I will say Gucci's bravado and his animosity, he was on one. He was looking for, we ain't coming to settle this at first. Like, he wasn't trying to settle nothing. He was trying to, what's up? What's up? We could take it there. And so I can see the way that he came out with the first two songs, like, they was direct shots at Jeezy. Jeezy played it cool, but that made me realize how great Jeezy's catalog was, because when he was playing songs, and like you said, he didn't play Boom Boom Clap, he didn't play Nah Broke, he didn't play Hefe, he didn't play a lot of stuff. My President's Black, he didn't play a lot of stuff. And when you just sit back and think of what you did here, Gucci really couldn't just really compete. Now Gucci got bangers, and I rocks with Gucci hard, and he got bangers and stuff, but his bangers are more bangers versus Jeezy was dropping classics. Jeezy was just dropping straight classics.
Hey, and check this out though, just kind of like a credit segue of what you were saying. When Gucci realized that he couldn't compete with Gucci, when Gucci realized he couldn't compete with Jeezy, when he said, "We ain't gonna keep living in the past," you knew then. It was over. It was over with, bro. Like, that's the epitome of, like, come on, bro. You know you whooping me, but yeah, like, if he'd have played, like, I was telling my partner, like, man, Gucci came out hard. I'm like, nah, I can't really say that, bro, because the little spot we was at, bro, if the man would have played Stay Strapped, Coop would be replacing tables and sections at this moment, bro. We was already standing on top of couches. If he'd have played that, we'd have broke tables in that jump, bro. I'm so serious. Like, he'd have played Stay Strapped, it's over with, bro. Like, that would have been a drop the mic. You can cut the whole verses out. But he ain't even had to. That's just what I was like. He came as a grown man, like, I'm going to play classics that were subliminal to you without being extremely disrespectful, because as a man, when we leave here, we're going to wash our hands with it. We're going to get this money. But if I play Stay Strapped, we're going to turn it up in here. And it's ongoing. We're going to get our money, but when I leave, I still don't fool with you. And you know that. So it's still a dope, though, bro. It was, honestly, the best thing that could have happened in 2020, to be for real with you.
Yeah, and Gucci left some songs out there on the table. I was looking for him to play with shirt off. He didn't play that. I was like, man, he got some joints on there that he could have played that he didn't play. So, man, overall, either way, no matter how you scored, no matter how you feel, it was one of the most entertaining verses of all that has happened as of yet. It is one of the most entertaining ones. And Gucci's a showman. He did all the build up to it with his memes and jokes and everything else. So Gucci's a showman. You know he's gonna come, to show out and make sure you have a good time, and many eyes was on it. I think the highest I seen was 1.6 million on Instagram viewing it. They hadn't put all the numbers in yet. I mean, they might have, I might have missed it, but
no, they have.
It was like 10 million or something like that, like shares and likes and impressions.
But the most on Instagram, it got to 1.8 on IG. Yeah. The most it got on IG. But then with all the shares and everything, what I seen was like, I want to say like 6-7 million.
6-7 million, that's a lot. And then not even counting the impressions and tweets, and them boys had like at least 10 million plus, like, just that was crazy. Like, crazy.
And to top it off, it started an hour late.
Oh, of course. That was, a couple of people time.
Yeah.
But nobody left. Yeah. Nobody left. It started an hour later and everybody was still in tune.
Basically, what I'm learning from Verzuz, the doors open at 7. You know what I'm saying? You got to be doors open at 7. That's how I be with Verzuz. Doors open at 7. Don't mean we starting at 7. They just tell you log on and watch us do what we do until they ready to go. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm glad they was able to do that peacefully. I'm glad, they was able to get that out the way. A lot of people's looking for them to shake hands and dap, but the way they set up the venue, they kept them separated just in case some feelings got involved at any point. They kept them good and separated where they couldn't walk across to each other. So that was a good idea as well. And it's good to hear that they was both in the club that same night having a good time. And if you watch the Breakfast Club interview, Jeezy explained why he didn't play Stay Strapped. He just said, man, I'm just in a different level, in a different lane. A lot of people wanted Jeezy to react a little different, but it's like, bruh, like Jeezy said, this almost, 17, 18, 20 years old. Jeezy out here engaged. He trying to, move on to other business ventures. Gucci, the same thing. He out here moving on to other business ventures and stuff like that. Ain't nobody trying to mess with their money, man. Did they?
Ain't his old lady pregnant too?
Hmm?
Ain't his old lady pregnant?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think both of them expecting. I know you're saying something that Jeezy, fiance or wife had an issue, but I think Gucci might be expecting a kid.
Yeah, so I'm saying he ain't
grown man business.
grown. They on grown man business now. But that one meeting that's floating around, it said Jeezy is for the ones that was in the trap. They had plan and goals to get out and start their own business and doing better. And the ones for Gucci is the ones still trying to figure it out. Well, that was too funny to me.
Hey, it was another that I had seen the other day. My homeboy sent to me. He was like, "They need to hurry up and start this Verzuz because we ain't in the trap or we driving forklifts." So, hey, they came home driving forklifts. Yeah, that was crazy. I said, "That's funny though. That's the truth."
Yeah.
Jeezy the winner. For those who wanted that direct beef talk and all that, they picked Gucci. I mean, there's no winner or loser. The winner is Atlanta. At the end of the day, the winner is Verzuz, Timbaland and your boy,
Yes.
Swiss. Excuse me, Swiss and Atlanta. That's it. That's them the real winners. I'm sure some phone calls was made after they was like, "Hey man, let's just go and squash this beef." I'm sure some phone calls was made.
I think it was one before they even had it. To be for real with you.
Probably so.
Yeah. But for entertainment purposes, we still got to come out like we was gonna come out. But as grown men, we know for a fact this ain't that. Yeah.
And bitch, I'm strapped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
But I will say one thing I didn't realize how many people was in Magic City when I watched it on Instagram, but when I watched like replays and other people's streams,
Yeah.
it was deep. So I can only imagine how the compound was because Magic City was deep.
Compound like the Million Man March, bro.
Oh, did.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
From section, like you seen Gucci because Gucci taller than Jeezy, of course, but you couldn't even see Jeezy in his section. But they both had just like, I mean, bro, if it was Corona, everybody got it. Everybody.
I'm telling y'all, Corona it ain't none in Atlanta, dog.
I guess. I guess that's the safe haven.
Right. Atlanta is his own bubble, dog.
Right.
Nah, they struggling this week.
That's what my partner was talking about. He said, give them about a week or two and see where that spike come in, see if they reported or not. Because I know they all 75% came from the compound. I can get Huh?
I said, you know it.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy. Yo. Y'all got anything else y'all want to cover on the door?
Nah, just wish my brothers can drop the beef like that right there. Oh, and I'm gonna say this too. For those then when now folks are getting mixed up. Jeezy didn't. Now he did say I'm gonna put 10,000 on the chain, but Jeezy didn't call Buddy and say, "Hey, this is where he at. Drop the dime and go get him." Jeezy didn't do that. And I think Jeezy said them two weren't even really homeboys like that. Like I keep saying, it's my best friend. He's like, I wouldn't even cool with Buddy like that. So for those who get that misconstrued, that's definitely not true. If you to be honest with you, at that time, for those who know, Gucci was walking around by himself a whole lot. And to be honest with you, if Jeezy really wanted him touched, he could have been touched a long time ago. Because Gucci was the type, you go to Atlanta. I remember going to Atlanta and seeing Gucci Mane just anywhere. Like he by himself, like with nobody. So if it was one of those situations, Jeezy really, in my opinion, he really could have had him touched if he really, really wanted to.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. And then like it was a few things people saying like they couldn't have squashed the beef. It's not necessarily the squash, but it's about just if anybody ever sent somebody to kill to rob me or kill me, yes, I would feel some type of way about it. But if I handle my business and the opposite person was willing to say, I can look you in the eye as knowing somebody that either killed my homeboy and associate, I'm gonna respect you. But if you want to keep throwing slick shots, like I was telling people, if it's really like that, and we all been in a situation where it's really like that, there's not no 15 years that a person made it and you was beefing with somebody that you know for a fact sent a hit at you. I'm sorry, how y'all try to think everybody just so rah. It's not. Like, you know who sent the hit. It's 15 to 20 years later. Some of these fans hanging on to the beef longer than these artists are. He know who sent the hit. They stood across from each other. It ain't that. Trust me, it ain't that deep no more. They not making it into no room with nobody, bro. Because like wanting that Gotti and Dolph, never gonna happen.
Never.
Never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. And this just the difference of the mindset of the two individuals that's in it. You gotta respect Gucci and Jeezy for doing what they did. Because I can guarantee you, Gotti and Dolph are way too prideful. More likely Dolph than anything because you've been hit a couple times and it still has yet to be a response. So yes, you have to say that you would never do a versus because how the streets looking at it, you ain't gonna respond to the streets either. So it's probably best you just route and stay out the way. Jeezy and Gucci, they did what they did. We both know what they stand for. Everybody can respect it. But they can go and kill that Dolph and guy that would never happen. We would never see that.
First of all, Dolph ain't hits to even be in the race.
I think they just judge it off of beef. Now, I think since Jeezy and them did, they want to see who can reconcile. That's not happening. I think Dolph just felt like he got too much to prove. Gotti ain't caring. Gotti probably could. But Dolph, nah. You got hit one too many times for you just come on stage and be like, okay, you ready to squash the beef with a rap battle. Because, we don't get too much into that, but, hopefully more, like you said, hopefully more people can do that, though.
And then one thing that what you said, though, Rose, is, too, because AJ was saying, like, he can't get with Jeezy because how you let the mans kill your mans and still trying to talk to him, but as you said, or still trying to do a versus with him, but as you said, on the flip side, how you rocking with me or doing this with me when you know I put a hit out on you? So I can understand both sides and I can understand why it took so long for it to come together. But at the end of the day, if it was like you said, if people was really as they are, it would have been unreconcilable.
Exactly.
Or on both sides because one, you killed my man. Two, you try to really get
me killed.
Yeah.
So what we talking about? We shouldn't be in the same room if it's that deep. That's why I'm trying to tell people, like, yeah, I could be fanned out and just be so caught up in this, but they're clearly not. Because one person sent a hit, one person did what anybody would do to send that situation if you're a real one. What are we talking about here?
But then, to add to that, you would have went after the person who put a hit out on you too, though.
Simple. If it's just that, like, we ain't even gonna get the chance to even talk about this on no verses. That's it. So
you wouldn't even been able to make another song.
Come on, bro. I knocked down your homie. Now it's up. You ain't rapping no more. I ain't rapping no more. Somebody gonna have to go and take it to the yard or to the grave if it's just like that. So these fans is on and ride on with them. They hit verses and they shook compound. Niggas was paying in there $1,000 a bottle in there. And that's way above our limits. So let them folks beef how they want to beef, bro. That ain't our battle. They did what they supposed to do for the culture, like Jeezy Gucci said, and salute them, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I know. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Spirit.
That's it for me. If y'all don't got nothing else to say, I'll just drop the Black Business Minute, and then we could do the Supremely Black Person, and we could get out of here.
Let's get to it.
I do want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving who's listening. This is Thanksgiving Eve. I know people really don't say it, but it is the eve before Thanksgiving. So we just want to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving. Stay safe, stay blessed, be careful. For the Black Business Minute, it's going to be simple. It's WeBuyBlack.com. They also have an Instagram, and it's exactly that, We Buy Black. And so you could go on there for all your Black purposes and all your Black needs to shop Black, anything Black. They have it's kind of like a little directory of just giving you places that you could get clothes from, you could get laundry detergent from, you could get accessories from, you could get a lot of different things that we purchase and goods and needs that we buy from WeBuyBlack.com, and they'll tell you where to go to purchase whatever you need. So WeBuyBlack.com, and they also have the Instagram, which is WeBuyBlack. So you could check them out. And that's the Black Business Minute.
All right, for our Supremely Black person of the week is going to be some men that did a great thing by making history by being the first all-Black crew to officiate an NFL football game. Big shout out to Barry Anderson. Big shout out to Jerome Booger, Anthony Jeffries, Carl Johnson, Julian Mapp, Dale Shaw, and Greg Steed. So outstanding job to those men. I watched that game. They did a great job officiating. It's crazy that we're in 2020 and we just not get the all-Black crew. Some people's on my timeline saying, what's so special about this? Well, we ain't never had to worry about it being an all-white crew. That's one thing for sure. They done did that for plenty of years. I used to have to give folks a history lesson on things they don't understand. So, yeah, where Black men couldn't officiate football, just like they didn't want us playing football, and then they had to give it up. Shit, at the end of the day. Damn Trump supporters get on my goddamn nerves. Well, I swear to God. Like they see the world through a whole nother lens.
Hey, what you say? You ain't never had to worry about it being.
You never had to worry about being a white crew. That's one thing for sure.
Hey, please add that to your comedy. That shit that funny. He said we ain't never had to worry about it being an all-white crew. I tell you that much. Hey, you showed up the same one. They showed me like, oh, what's the importance of that? You know the importance if you're asking.
Right.
Like, come on, man. That's crazy. But yeah, shout out to them, man. Yeah.
Fellas, man, they did an outstanding job. Shout out to fellas, man. And to be NFL, was already doing good. To be NFL, you got to be making over 6 figures on your day job.
Hey, that was funny. Let me put this on mute.
This dude here. So, if that's all we get, man, we're going to wrap this thing on up, man. He over there dying.
Hey, bro, that was funny because that's the truth, man. People don't be wanting to just say the truth. Like, you ain't never had to worry about it with an all-white crew. So why? So, yes, all-Black crew. Yes, it's national news, bro. Yes.
The game was an all-white crew. Like,
nothing than the NFL. Come on, Jacob and Craig. Come on out here. Yeah.
Right. Sure. But y'all have a good day of thanks. For all my queens out there, put your crown on, took that thing to the side, let them know you are a queen. For all my kings out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, let them know you are a king. We are Supremely Black Podcast, and we are 3/5 of nothing, 100% kings and queens. And we out.
And before we leave, Flake, but happy Indigenous People Day as well. So enjoy, spend it with your family. Well, how?
Yes.